surprise, hair has gone. I felt like it was now or never. I've always been curious to know what my hair looks like short, so here we go. And by the time I get home it should be back to normal basically, but yeah, I think I wouldn't say it looks better, but I thought it was going to look worse, so happy days, happy fucking days. I'm now on the move again, which is good. I've spent almost 3 weeks in Cervera resting my ankle, been to the doctors twice, met all sorts of pilgrims. Most of them are considerably older than me and have walked hundreds of kilometers already and are charging on with no discomfort at all, so that's good. I'm obviously just a weak little boy, but yeah, the ankle's still not better. It is right now, bandaged up. It is getting better though, but definitely not ready to walk on. And I planned to start walking yesterday, and I went for a practice walk on Tuesday and it just felt absolutely rubbish. So that was really, really deflating and disheartening, and I was starting to think, you know, what to do. You know, do I just stay in Cervera until it's better, which could take 2 more weeks, or do I you know, move somewhere and try and find like an intensive Spanish course for accommodation, or do I do a bit of exploring? I wasn't really sure what to do. But I was really, really angry and deflated. But I took myself off to the post office on that day anyway, so this is on Tuesday, the day before I plan to go walking. And in the post office, a woman behind me heard me chatting, realised quickly that I wasn't Spanish, and yeah, so she, you know, asked where I was from and stuff. Turns out she's from Ireland, from Galway. A lovely lady called Jenny. We had a very quick chat, and then she left, and I, you know, sent off my parcel. As I left the post office, she was still out there because a friend, by chance, had just messaged her, asking her to wait for a courier to drop off a parcel for her to then take into the post office for her. Kind of random, but so she was still out there. So I, you know, got chatting to her, told her about my situation and everything, and she, really, really lovely woman, just kind of took it upon herself to help me out. So she started looking for secondhand bikes online, and I was very reluctant to cycle because in my head, you know, I really like the idea of covering every piece of land by foot. And she could tell that. She was like, you know, you just got to listen to your body. And she was right. And you know, if I had waited until I could start walking again, you know, it may have been 2 more weeks, it may have been 1 more week, but it may have been, you know, the case where I feel better in 3 weeks' time, and then I start going, and then, you know, flares up again because maybe it'll turn out that I need an insole or something. Who knows? We'll find out as we go. But yeah, so we exchanged numbers. She sent me some ads she found online. She had to nip back home to do an online teaching class. She teaches English. She teaches English to Spanish people online. And she lives in a town, well, not a town, a village. There are 5 people living in the village. Her house is 300 years old. And that village has a mayor, which is a bit ridiculous. Yeah, then I got a message from Jenny later on in the afternoon saying that by chance one of the builders working on her house had an old bike they wanted to, you know, get rid of, sell. So I met her in Cervera that early evening, and the builder came along. I gave it a little test run around the square, did the job. So yeah, I've got the bike. She then took me to a mechanic in Cervera, who was a man with very few words. He looked completely unimpressed by her request to kind of adjust my handlebars, the height of my handlebars, and he just kind of walked off. and walked off to another part of the workshop. And so I asked Jenny if he was helping us or not, and she said she genuinely didn't know. But you know, apparently he's just sort of like that. But he had decided to help us, so he was just going off finding a tool, sort out the handlebars. So that was that done. And then said goodbye to Jenny, and cycled off to a bike service shop. The fella there had done the Camino Frances 5 times, so he was quite happy. Well, you know, he was quite excited by the idea of me kind of, you know, doing the Camino and stuff. And his English was all right. And another woman who worked in the shop worked as a nanny in Bournemouth for 4 months, so she was chatting to me a little bit in English. They were really friendly in there. They changed the back tyre, did the back brake, and said that 60 euros for that bike was good business. So that made me feel more confident about the ride, because it is too small for me and it is old as fuck. But you know, it's quite a squeaky little thing, but it's really good. It's got good suspension, 18 gears. And I then went to a shop, bought a spray can, and spray painted the Camino logo on the bike, which is pretty lame, but yeah, did that. So yeah, extremely fortunate to have met Jenny in the post office. She really did change my situation drastically. So yeah, now it's Thursday. I've made it to Tarrega. Ankle felt fine on the bike. My right knee felt a little bit dodged, but I think it's probably just getting used to riding a small bike. I think if I take it, you know, bit by bit, I should be able to kind of continue without much trouble. Yesterday evening in the albergue in Cervera, I met a pilgrim called Steve, who is the brother of another pilgrim I'd met earlier, and he's walked all the way from the east coast of Spain, and is going to Santiago as well, and he is also in the same albergue tonight. So it's just me and Steve, 2 nights on the trot, once in Cervera, now here. I had a lovely lunch when I got here, a late lunch. 17 €90. I got a starter, a main, which was steak, by the way, pudding, which was homemade cheesecake, and a glass of wine for, well, yeah, as I said, 17 €90. Absolutely unreal. The path here was really nice. Basically a dirt road the whole way, no traffic, no busy roads. So yeah, been pretty pleasant. I've got another pilgrim who's a bit ahead of me, called Oriol, who is a lad who lives just out of Barcelona, and he asked for my number when he was at the when he was staying in Cervera, so it's quite useful because I can kind of find out where he's staying, as he's basically 2 days ahead of me now. So yeah, that's that. We're back on the road. We're back. It might last a couple of days, who knows, but I think whatever happens, is going to make it to Santiago. So yeah, that's the update for today. Bye bye. So this is the kind of main reception area. You sit there to sign in. Through there's like washing, kitchen, and the kitchen for pilgrims is through here. Here's where you sit to eat. Some jugs and stuff you can use. And around the corner, got a little microwave, the world's smallest sink, some cutlery. That's the only kind of sharp knife you have to do your to chop your vegetables and stuff. Minimal, but does the job. Views outside. Then we go upstairs, which is where I've been snoozing. You get Wi-Fi in this area, by the way, as well as up here. So here is another Wi-Fi zone. So often people just be chilling on these chairs and benches, surfing the web. I'm down here. This is the balcony. See some washing is hung up there. But yeah, nice views, nice place to chill. And then the pilgrims room. Actually, before we go in there, I'll show you the bathroom. So we have a shower. Door's broken, so there's nothing that slides there. So you've got to have good aim, and always got to be holding the shower head. There's nothing you can kind of doesn't fit into the thing up there. Toilet. And then this is where the magic does not happen. That's my favourite bed to chill on. But I sleep in the bottom bunk there. So yeah, sleeps 6 people. Nice little desk. If you want to plan, for planning your next route, reading, whatever. Sockets to charge your phone there. Sockets in the far corner behind that cupboard. Hence why I chose that bed. Then there's another toilet over here. So those are the areas I'm using in this hostel. Pretty good. It's not a bad spot. Basic, but good size.